Bukan berdiri dan terus berlari terus ke arah puncak ketinggi. Jangan berhenti, ayo sampai di sini. Kemenangan abadi menanti. You know you want this, you feel you don't focus, and you feel how to know it. We all let apimu ada. Tantangan semua seragam jauh. Bukan halangan. Semangatmu janganlah engkau menyerah. Kita akan buat sejarah. We will miss. We will miss. Saatnya beraksi, jalani ambisi. Aku kan menyawakan hari ini. You know you want this, you don't know this, you have. Karena dirimu ada, semua tanda dan semua jatuh adalah janganlah engkau menyerah. Kita itu sejarah.
Two best of fives this day and two game five. Of course, this game it's a win or go home situation for the White Tigers. A lot of things at stake here. Of course, EVOS Legends has three members that they have in SEA Games representative in the next tournament. But Geek Slate, of course, has nothing to prove. They're the eighth placer, and right now they have the playoff spot, and they're trying to make the best out of it. And so far, it has not been working out in game three and game four. But you know, what else is working out?
Well, what's working out is Max Stream. Whenever you're tired, you don't know what to watch, you can always just open up Max Stream on your Samsung phone. Because for those of you who love MLBB, MPL 2023 is available on Max Stream. Max Stream is an app that combines OTT and a lot of channels so that you don't need to swap between the apps. And guess what? There's a lot of exclusive content, original content that only airs on Stream. There's Love in Game, Love Coach with Rachel, The One Believe, Russia, The Wonder Kid, and Cole at Express.
So don't miss out on cool and exciting shows. Watch only on Max Stream. You can Max Stream and chill with your girlfriend too. If you have one, if you don't have one, just chill on your own.
Yeah.
Just like me.
Solo chill.
Yeah.
Solo.
Well, what can't be solo is Beloyski, man. His team
Oh, Francis.
needs to try and figure something out.
Look at
Looking at the game
He's-
recap from the previous game, Dara and Brands both the impact player on their team. It just is unfair. Yes, it's Kadira's Brody, but given the whole circumstance, the whole context, it's not only about the gold lane. It's not only about the roamer, right? Overall, the composition needs to make sense. So we're going back to this whole topic again, but this joy has been such a big problem. If you don't want to let it go, ban it. If you want to let it go, then you may need to make sure that you know how to play we were talking about the possibility of Jana Cutie going on it, and it really makes sense logically, unless Jana really does not know how to play it. And if that's the case, that's such a shame, right? It's a pick and ban hero. There's no reason to not have some time on that hero just in case it pops up, and you need to flex it around, right? It's a very important pick to have your way around. So for Geek, will this joy pick once again throw them off, or will they finally put a bit more flexibility in their composition? Because if it's only on Beloy, only on Luke, or only on a singular member, well, guess what? They're doing the exact same thing that Evo's legends were so struggling so hard to try and overcome, being one-dimensional and relying too much onto one player.
No more experimental drafts, please.
Please.
I read that in the
Will they
comments.
still ban the Atlas though? Is the question for Big Slate here, or do they want
I
to
am
just
the
ban
power
it?
of light in the planet.
But it's another Natalia and Glue ban, but this time around, Big Slate banning out that Kaja. So I don't know what's the game plan here. Maybe if EBOS still lets the Joy. No, no, no. There's no way they're gonna let the Joy go because after this, Geek Slate will still ban a hero. So this they don't want to play the Joy against the Joy without a Kaja. Maybe, just maybe.
I wonder what gold leaders are going to show.
But the joy is wide open.
Is picking.
Okay.
Makes
Some
sense,
developments.
So you can already see like
They want
at
Luke
this
to pick
point,
it.
at this point, picking Joy is a gamble in this series.
It is my life
Usually that's what
to
got
banish
never
all
happened
darkness.
from Christian Right.
Don't be surprised that Whiskey and Vin are unstable in MPL 1611 because they are the ones who control the game. They analyze heroes, enemy and team positions, enemy winning conditions, and their team's winning conditions. With all those conditions being considered by the team, you have to really wonder, right? The longer the games go, the more you kind of read into habits that have changed, right? Past movements that have been amended by your opponents, and of course the mental fatigue that comes with
Yeah,
being such a
game
calculative
five
player.
too.
They are still doubling down on the joy, though.
Oh my god!
my
They're actually doubling down two on the counter. It's gotta be Mincidar and the Franco. So two counters
Among
for
the
these
planes
dashes.
exists the equilibrium,
The answer for that is a
which
Yi
I
pick.
was
I like the
made
Yi pick
for.
though. It's not really vulnerable to this kind of heroes, so there's not much
Sir,
dive yet
what's your
in
command?
Boss Legends, so that's why they like to play the Eve. And by the way, a Fanny ban for Geek Slate banning towards Taza's comfortable hero, but at this point, Geek Slate still doesn't have, and EVOS 2 actually doesn't have the gold laner. They're not gonna exhaust the gold laner, looks like, from the looks of it. Geek Slate banning the Fanny. So what are they gonna do in this banning phase?
For Evos.
For both.
For Evos, I believe right now is ban out Beloy, right? Because even though he has learned a few new heroes, it's still quite limited. Now that we see, he still relies on his comfort heroes, especially here in the playoffs. Like we just saw from Rack that comment, when you're making all those calls, sometimes it's just best to pick up a comfort hero instead of a hero that you've learned recently.
I wonder if the Lolita will be banned or
Need some
picked in this
stitches?
game.
I can help.
It's a solid counter against the Franco. It is something that Beloy can use, and if you look at the composition, now Ebos are the ones that are relatively short ranged, right? There could be a potential for Geek Slate to use Ebos' own weapons against them. But for now, it's going to be the banned away. So maybe Ebos are trying to avoid the clumped up team fight situation.
Maybe. Fanny ban as well already for Geek Slate. What do they go for now?
The obvious pick so far is the Lolita again, but I feel like EVOS gonna read it. Let's see if that's the case.
They're gonna hit ban or pick the Terizla as well. The Terizla is again a
Pain
very big
is the
menacing
proof that
foe,
I
but
still
Geek Slate
alive.
actually wants banning out the Brody, so they're expecting some kind of lane bully attempt from Evos.
So Beatrix and Carry, the two heroes still left up for grabs. Evos Legends try to ban it out. And hey, Valentina can be flexed by Evo's Legends, actually. We've seen that. I mentioned that, I think, the regular season, Rashi.
You know what'd be crazy
Brad
though?
has been practicing Valentina Gold.
And he did bring it out once. Although, if you don't see something really crazy, Geek maybe can put the joy in the gold lane. That will be even crazier. But we just said no more experimental drafts, so let's not go there. Last ban for Evos. Is it gonna be another gold laner? It's gonna be that utility, that counter, that deterrent of aggressive play.
I've been
It's gonna be
waiting for
the
too long.
Lolita, and
They're
Geek
still
goes for
saving
the
it.
carry.
Beatrix wide open for Evo's Legends. A hero that Brands has found a whole lot of success on, but again, is that Valentina going to the gold lane?
I don't think so, man.
Ooh.
I really don't think so because I don't know. Valentina as your DPS. This is not Brance's hero. I think he pulled it off once, and I don't
Yeah,
know
it
if
didn't
you
work out.
actually won or not. Did he
We
win?
didn't.
He did it, but it's not really Brance's comfortable hero, right? But in this case, like I really am lost on what Geek has to pick here because, of course, Ployski is pretty comfortable with certain heroes, and we see some of it getting banned in this case. So
It might be a big gamble, and he'll pull off something he hasn't been showing. And the question is he gonna be adept at using it? Because for Evos, Fredrin and Beatrix, those are solid picks coming out from their composition. It's a lot of crowd control and a lot of solid damage.
this
Although
Katira makes sense.
although Geek does have the
Makes sense.
Can you
carry
use the
though.
oddity while you're in the King's Calling?
I
I don't think so.
I don't think
Oddity
so.
is the dash, right?
Yeah,
No way. No.
exactly. So I don't think the Kadita works here.
But as long as you go in the King's Calling, like it doesn't matter, right? You can just ult your way out of it. So it's an option, but
So any kind of
Chow
big
makes sense, but it's not Valois'
troll
hero, right?
will also get stopped by the denial though. So it's gonna be the Grok yet again. So solid front line, then a tank slot and the Joy. So they still have the same problem of having a vulnerable backline, the Yeeve and the carry, and yet not a solid front line hit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it over to our host, Bonito Monster and Monica.
Di sini kita akan langsung untuk mendengar bagaimana semangat sorak-sorai dari Geek Slate, Geek Community. Kita bakal kasih semangat untuk Geek Slate. Mana suaranya untuk Geek Slate? Geek Slate! Monik gimana di sana? Wow, pada sekali ini Geek Slate saya, tapi tentunya Ibu Sam. Jangan lupa panas sekali di sini. Dan langsung saja kita ikuti ini dia. Game penentuan antara Evox Legend dan juga Geek Slate. Back to you, Captain. Welcome to Mobile Legends.
The game for Evos versus Kick. This time it's do or die game, best of one. Whoever loses goes home.
Here
Man,
it is. Back to a best of one, Arashi. That 2-0 lead, gone. Just like that.
Everything on the line right here. And it's looking scary because honestly, nothing crazy has changed. No drastic measures have been taken for both these teams, and they're just attempting to try and iron out the simple mistakes, betting on that to win them the game. Man, so intense right now.
Speaking about down 2-0 though, Evos has been in this position in M1. They actually came back from a 3-1 lead against Evos Legends, just like what Cleveland Cavaliers did to Golden State Warriors, but Jana Cutie read that perfectly.
Did Dreams get it? I believe Dreams did get it.
Wait, did he?
Yeah.
It
Okay.
seems like he didn't to me, but
Oh, he
at
actually
this
used
point,
the
you wouldn't know.
Restream. Oh, wow.
Trying to do
We'll
some
see
damage.
here. I'll try to look at it in the replay because, again, these little things are really going to build up, especially considering Geek Slate are in a position where the reverse sweep is possible. Their mental state is in question. A flicker
my
by
God.
Valoy early on. These little dubs for Evos in the early game are gonna be
Dreams.
massive dreams.
Oh, that's a
canceling the
swag move.
recall.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Super intelligent by Dreams. He lands this hook. It's a tilted Geek Slate. Janera brought back Brands, dealing some damage. He's still going to be able to last hit here. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get the last hit.
Dreams just showing Poloski. This is how you actually play the Franco, my guy. But the Grok pick is very, very weird at this point, to be honest. I feel like it's just a comfort pick, as you said, Arashi. It's
Dreams
better to
did
make.
steal it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's interesting, but total take. Poloski definitely has something in mind. The wall charge is going to be a very useful tool for him to utilize in this team fight. A boy already has the real manipulation also.
Only that though, will that be enough? Because for the side of Evos, a lot more crowd control and the engagement cycles goes through.
King's calling onto a boy. A lot of damage placed down as a boy is trying to run away, but the mobility field will not do it. Thwark Beloy with a three-man wild charge. No more follow-up. Both teams disengaging. Geek Slate still with some pressure to place down, but Taz definitely with more resources. Both retributions still up. Luke putting some damage down onto Taz. He decides to reset it. Hook comes down, not connecting onto Luke, but look at Hijime picking up some hits onto the turret shield.
Rance is rotating, so this is going to be a 5v4 for EVOS Legends.
Luke again jumping back and forth, trying to buy some time right now as he pops into the electrifying beats to zone them away right now, but it's going to be Beloy who gets hooked. First blood, 2 kills over to EVOS Legends, and it's a kill onto Brands. Meanwhile, Jana secures the turtle, gets out with the puncture. But again, it's a 1,000 gold lead for EVOS Legends. They're going up top. Chidera, I think he might have stayed a bit too long. Dreams has the Bloody Hunt. He's waiting for Hijime. He pops into Bloody Hunt. Hijime now following it up now with a hook as well. Chidera has fallen. EVOS with a 1.4 thousand gold lead on track for that reverse sweep.
A lot of small mistakes by Geek Slade, but it's gonna be very costly if it keeps piling up like this. Dreams looking for the next opportunity, already being so much more aggressive because he knows, right? The counter engage is so limited as Beloyski goes. They might try and go for it. Wall charge will be able to secure it, but the counter.
Another wild charge. The Mirror's Passion as well. The barrier not able to lock them down away from that escape. Brands!
Whoa!
My goodness
My
gracious.
lord.
That was close.
Okay, so Brands with that up perfectly, but fortunately didn't get it done. Misses by 2 inches there, almost like getting it done, but
You would know.
right now. I was gonna say that, but Pixelate, I can sense some desperation. I can sense some, they're kind of feel restless in a way, like they're not playing like they used to be. It makes sense, right? They lose 2 games in a row, and right now their momentum is not there. It's EVOS Legends' game to take.
I feel like they're just losing out in the drafts, man. At this point, in during the Lord dances, where Geek Slate has been so dominant, they're gonna just wait for an Iron Hook. They're gonna wait for a taunt from the Fredrin. Now Jana Kitty goes for Taz, but he'll get zoned away by that Bandit's Rage. As I was saying, so much more crowd control, so many more engaged tools, 2 hooks in the hands of EVOS Legends. So if Geek Slate doesn't go all in like this, then EVOS Legends are the one that can actually get the advantage.
I think they have to utilize look like you clear the lane as fast as possible. You enter the team fight in the mid lane, in the top lane when your gold lane is there. So make it a 5v4, make it a 4v3. So using that mobility to perfection. This point though, it doesn't seem that way to be honest. Look, still a 0-1 or no contribution just yet in any team fights.
I mean, on the bright side, for Geek Slate, if they can get a very messy fight where everyone is on their own, technically, Kadera on the carry has a lot more independence,
Wow.
depending on the situation. But now, the
Oh.
turtle getting pushed,
Beautiful.
get taken by Taz.
Beautiful King's calling there to zone Jana away. Free Turtle Boy. In a midst right there. The render shot not connecting, but Hijime says, I will take that real world inflation and I'll take that kill. Luke now jumping, but he's going to be gunned down. He pops the vengeance.
It's overextending way too much on the hero that is not as survivable. We've been saying this again and again. All 2 times Luke has been on the Joy, doesn't seem to be that effective. He doesn't seem to be that big menace, and he is making a lot of mistakes, and these are costly.
Look at the damage slowly
Oh
but
my
surely. The
lord.
DPS building for Brands, who has a lead now on the render. Dreams with a punishing render shot connects onto a boy in the back.
Lloyd, not much of a big boy anymore, just getting bursted down by 4. Dreams though, so far in this game, you gotta say, like he's been outplaying Lloyd to the
For
utmost
sure.
potential. Like this is a Franco that you actually plays the Franco the right way, and it's a roam camp to be honest in this game.
It's not about how you play the Franco, it's about what the Franco is going up against. No tanky member. They can take the Iron Hook. No Guardian's Bulwark to cancel it out.
Well, the first skill from Grok kind of
Nature,
works,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but you can exactly what Evo's Legends is doing. They're baiting it out because Beloyski needs to use it preemptively
Exactly.
when he is looking for vision. So on the way out of his scouting trip is where the Iron Hook
Fair.
lands, and that is just denying
Boy,
Geekstate any info. But look at his play; it might just work. Unfortunately, no.
Feels very desperate, the move right now that Geekslate are trying to do. They're making the late game plays that Beloy likes to make, but very early on. Dreams. I mean, it's a good flank right now for Beloy.
oh my god.
Oh, beautiful read.
Wow.
Oh no,
How could you
Beloy.
read that?
Red out, Power Nature gets him out. 0, 2, and 1 in the scoreboard. Beloy still going to be able to escape, but Taz is putting some pressure down.
Look at look at Luke, man. He's behind, but he doesn't seem like a deadly presence. And there he is, going out to try and clear the waves. Takes out Snipe, and what now? He's low, and he does not have the same kind of regen. Evos, they're making the move.
Cycles has the
Real world
flicker.
manipulation pop down. That's going to be the bloody hunt as well. The Bandit's rage, everything, and even the
Oh.
goes to Taz. Oh boy, now it's going to be Brand flickering forward. If he was back, oh my goodness, almost takes him down. But it might just be a mistake right now. As that's going to be Luke on the back line, finding a kill. In redemption, Tadera buys the golden staff as well. The mid lane turret going to be targeted by Jana QT, who's looking for a trade desperately in this game.
That can happen, man. That cannot happen. You have all the members of EVO's Legends on the other side. You have to execute your retry. There's no threat at all on you, Jana Curie, but instead thoughts just beautiful, beautiful timing on their retribution. All the W's in that fight, EVOS takes it.
I mean, Taz, one of the one of the best junglers in Indonesia right here. His retributions have always been solid, and he's proving it here yet again. When he's not 5 levels behind, he can get those retributions done. But in true geek fashion, they are getting more pressure around the map, going for the objectives, the turrets, trying to go
Wow.
for a split push kind of, because technically they do have two assassins. This is one of the only advantages they have over Evo's Legends.
Not gonna lie though, the gold lead is not really that much. I expect them to be much more, especially with that turtle take just now. But oh wow, two at the same time. Okay, I can see why you're worried about Power Nature, Rashi.
Yeah, exactly. It's limited. Now he's using it again. Fortunately, it's still available in Geeks Late. You're trying to zone away, get out from all those situations. Looking at the items though, Luke, not tanky at all, but he has some damage available. And for a boy, so far it's only utility. Until the glowing one is built up, he will not be that big of a threat.
Oh
As
my
Jana
lord.
goes into 4 people.
No King's calling. That's the wild charge as well, connecting as Luke jumps in, but he's going to be caught in the taunt right now. Dreams looking for the Iron Hook. A boy going to be able to push some damage down to poke them down. Appraiser's Wrath and the Renner shot. Not connecting. Geek Slate still in this game. 1,000 gold lead only for EVO's Legends. The Lord has spawned in the land of Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's getting exciting.
Ooh,
Definitely getting exciting, but Chana Cutie just going into the 5 people watch there.
yeah, he
Kinda
doesn't
funny,
care.
but good reaction. Toss definitely has the better advantage in terms of zoning people out with the constant thoughts of CC and Dreams and Psychos also just pretty much you can pretty much throw anything and hope it lands at this point, you know?
Ooh, Power of Nature denies a lot of the engages here. Luke has been able to push the wave up, but look at that.
King's
Jana gets
calling.
pulled in.
Locking him down right now, but Jana's still going to be able to escape with a puncture. Joy already cleared out that top side with the mobility. Dream's going to be caught in the midst of it all right now as the first comes down. Tadera looking for a one final hit, finds the kill. Bennett's rage, also a boy! With a hook from Psychots, takes him down. Mid lane for Romer. Worth it for EVO's Legends, still having their damage dealers up and ready. Brands clearing out that bottom lane as the Lord will be utilized right now, but that's going to be Luke jumping in once again, forcing the flicker out. A massive resource burnt out for both XP and gold. Hijime in the front, going back on the generic Psychots! Flickers forward, looking for it right now as Brands is able to dish some damage out, but Luke gets the damage done. Jana and Taz, this is it once again. The retry battle, it's gonna favor Taz again.
That's a weird phantom execution, man. I think you should have done the Thorn Wars, but I feel like it's on cooldown. If it's already there, I think it's for sure it's gonna be the Thorn Wars, but instead, Dreams just being a menace in the cold. I mean, in the jungle area.
There's just such crazy plays happening right here, but in the moment of truth, Taz is still the one that got it done. With that Lord advantage right here, Evo's Legends, they can deny all the trades that Geekset has been taking. It's a bit of a similar situation from game number 3. Now they're going to try and clear the Lord, but Evo's Legends can land a big hook. could be dangerous.
Remember, two hooks from EVOS Legends Psychots, and wow, the long range presence, the long range threat from EVOS is just insane, man. The hooks, the Renner Apathy, even the Nibiru's Passion, and also the Banner's Rage. A lot of options to actually pick. This time, they're gonna utilize it to take the mid lane turret. Now,
Not just yet. And later on in the fight, maybe, right? A weakness we've been able to
Whoa!
spot.
No
Oh
way.
my god, no way!
He catches Beloy. The Renner shot onto Luke as well. To add salt to the wound, Luke taken very low by another Renner shot. Evo's Legends 4,000 gold lead. Rashi Sheffin, it's looking bleak for Geek Slate.
very, very intelligent though. The fact that he waited for Poloski to use the sentry just read that out perfectly. Poloski didn't know that Dreams was there, but yeah, this guy is intelligent. That no wonder Zays picked him.
That's crazy, man. Evo's Legends right now, locking Geek State into their own base. The only real weakness we saw is the fact that in the big team fight, Brands does get left alone quite a bit. And if you look at it, there's both physical and magical damage available if Luke and Jana QD jump towards him at the same time. That could be something that Geekset can use, but they need to catch up on gold first. If they make that play with a 5k gold deficit, it might be too difficult if
Oh
the hook
my
lands
God.
again.
Beloy able to flicker out right now as the RWM gets placed down onto a boy who's going to be able to actually respond to it now. He's giving the damage coming down. He's going to be able to flicker out right there, but Jana QT with a bloody retribution
Oh!
gets out. Pulled back into the King's calling of
Jana
a
flanking?
ball. Carry recalling. Jana in the midst of it all taunted off. It's a double for Brands. He's looking for more. Onto Jana QT now, who has the Thorn Rose, who is able to get away for a bit, but it's one by one. A maniac Brands is looking for the Savage. He doesn't get the final few shots.
Is this-
4-for-1
oh.
for Evos. No mini waves to play with. Luckily for Geek Slate, but it might still be the end. 6 seconds for Beloy. It won't be the end.
They'll try
Most
to
likely
take the
not.
mid turret down here without Beloy and the crew. Only one person here, Chitera, trying to defend it, but oh, EVOS. Okay, actually get it.
Oh, Beloy wants compensation so bad, but it's just a bit too dangerous here. And look at that. Once the frontline members guard around Brands, instantly he is just no longer a viable target. That fight was so close, but Brands was able to maneuver around all the damage and even picking up a nifty, a missing maniac in the midst of all that. Geek Slate, they need to go in at the same time. Funneling in one by one like that will only spell disaster. With a 6k gold deficit now, they are forced to try and contest this lord.
Remember, Chitera is on a sprint, so Dreams, if he wants to, just can go flickering in with the Bloody Hunt, but you can see Poloski just owning that push.
Look at Beloy.
Yeah, but will this come through though?
That's a big question right now. It's a desperate play. Jana zoned away. Side contact with the King's calling. Great
Nah.
for the Iron Hook and the Bloody Hunt. Brands all open. He gets stunned up, but Chidera now is going to be able to take him down. Brands are taken low. Brands still able to survive in the midst of it all, but he's going to get taken down in the end with Taz taking the retreat once again. A boy in Chidera.
Chidera popping up.
Is able to dish out some damage. Psychon's melted down by Chidera, who's still in the midst of it all. Jumping forward once again with the Immortality Pot. Psychon's going to be able to get the hook down, but a boy finds the kill. It's a 3-for-2. Enhanced Lord over to Evos.
The
Wow.
flanking comes through, Rashi.
The flank, like we always talked about for Geek State, comes through and they were finally able to isolate Brands right there. Even though Janakiri got picked up so early in the middle of that fight, it doesn't matter. They find it, and might be the chance, this might be the pattern that they can identify and look to try and emulate in the next upcoming fights. With the Lord out of the picture for now, let's take a look at the instant replay right here. It's all set up by Beloyski, coming in together
Well
with
played,
Kadera.
Beloy.
They go in with the wild charge. They instantly take out Hijume, taking out the burst damage threat initially, and then just put their eyes onto Brands, sending Luke after him. No defensive items available just yet. That was such a huge moment for Geek Slate. Might be exactly what they need to try and turn this franchise around.
Is it too late though?
Maybe, maybe
Consi-
not. But
Considering they have a Yves and a carry, I feel like the late game threat is definitely still present, but it's so difficult because they're up against so many more engage tools from Evo's Legends. Let's take a look at the items right here. Almost a full item build for Kadera on the carry with the Wind of Nature for good measure. And on the flip side, for Brands, actually, he has the Rose Gold Meteor, a very smart build, giving him a bit more shielding, giving him a bit more sustainability. denying Luke that easy pick, but he does not have a win of nature. That could be a problem the longer the game goes.
Not gonna lie, is this just me or do I not know how to build? But Luke is not going for plate armor, especially against a Beatrix. This is kind of weird to be honest. So he doesn't want to go for the bounce damage. Instead, he wants to kind of nerf or kind of debuff the attack speed from Beatrix. Interesting approach, but let's see if it comes through. But in that fight earlier, Luke was this close to actually,
Very close.
yeah. If the first kill is not there, he would have died.
It's all down to the wire, man. The best of matches are settled in those very small
Yeah.
moments, and this is no exception. 17 to 18 right now. Geek Slate is definitely in the better spot, but they still have to deal with all these different hooks, all these different frontliners on the side of Evos. They lose their purple buff as
Oh,
well. It's a weird formation here. They keep sending Beloyski
Yes.
together with together with
Chidera.
Chidera. Like it's a duo, a dynamic duo kind of play. It worked out once, but I wonder if they can replicate the same kind of success repeatedly.
Exactly. Especially considering here that Brands, again, has no defensive item aside from the Rose Gold. It's possible, Rashi. Because the thing is about the carry, you can't build a win in nature, right? Through damage.
Right.
Well, technically you can, but you can just not all the damage will be tanked by that Wind of Nature.
Exactly.
But you can see their dreams just eyeing a
Oof.
big lane pickoff towards Luke, presumably without the plate armor. So Vengeance will not help him much, but
Oh my god.
might be a good
Look
flank here.
at
It's a
this.
flank battle.
Oh, Brands and Dreams looking for the hook right now. Luke not going to be hooked. A boy. Oh, Purify
All five already there.
to get him out. Let's see if Geek Slate realizes that the marksman and the roamer is missing. He
I
might
think Beloy's
actually
gonna read it.
Malloy reading it out. Now with the power of nature, reads it out. Brands. That's gonna be the conceal as well. They are trying their best to force it out, but the conceal comes through from the side of Evil's Legends as well. Beautiful reads from both of these teams. High level gameplay. Oh, and it's gonna be Dreams who brings Malloy back to the team right now. Immortality is right there. Genera gonna be able to free hit right now with the RWM as the walk chart connects on the three members. Taz losing immortality. Luke in the midst of it all right now. Getting some damage. They'll try find beats with Vengeance as well. Taz jumping on the hook landing. Luke buying a lot of time, but no one is there to follow it up. Psychos with a flicker. Genera not able to do anything with the sprint. He tries to disengage. Now onto Dreams, dashing away. Geek Slate will concede an evolved Lord.
See what I mean? Imagine if there's plate armor there. Brands would have been taken care of quite easy, but he goes for a dominant icy instead. But this time, EVOS Legends will take the Lord no problem at all.
Free Lord for Evo's Legends. It all began with the Iron Hook from Dreams, man. The setup on the top side was done. We've seen it in the previous games. The slow push that Geek Slate was going to use to settle that late game Lord Dance. But Evo's Legends, they learn from their mistakes. They engage the fight directly, knowing that they don't want to give Geek Slate the time to try and outmaneuver them like that. Now with a full item slot, with a Wit of Nature on top of the Rose Gold, Brands is ready for the next fight. Can see defensive respect items being built for Hijime even with the Blood Wings and the Mincetar. You can see that Psychots also has the Blood Wings, the Queen's Wings.
They're going with the evolved Lord. They do not want to utilize the other waves right now, utilizing the damage reduction. Real world manipulation popped in to clear out of the Lord, and it does really well. But the
Wow.
bottom lane will be sieged down by Brands with that Renner shot. Evo's Legend still very well in the lead.
Oof.
A good Renner shot threading the needle onto a boy, but he is very close to the base. He can just walk back. Another hook, not connecting. Power of nature as well, popped in by Beloy. Geek Slate looking to defend.
This is a hard comp to defend, man. There's a lot of hooking potential there. And Poloski still, oh my goodness, almost there. Dreams catching Poloski once again.
They have to
Beloy?
get punished once they have a chance like this. Once the hooks are on cooldown, that means that that hero doesn't really do anything if you jump on them. So that's a small window they can try and take advantage of. But with so many hooks, they can just cycle it and, just cycle the cooldowns one by one and ensure that at any point, one hook is always available.
What?
Moment like this, though, this could be the chance they can use to try and go for a fight. Beloise seems to be intent on going for it, but no, his team won't be able to follow up and go for a catch.
You do have a point though, Rashi. But the thing is, there's also King's Calling. Once you go in, it's
Exactly.
a kill zone for EVOS there. So once you go in, it's Jana Cutie, Luke, a lot of dash heroes, right? It's gonna get punished real easy when you have a Beatrix too in the late game. It's gonna make your life harder and harder. You can see here, Psychos actually pulled off a rose gold meteor. Interesting itemization there.
They're all really respecting a boy and Luke's damage here. And again, they kind of took your advice here, Chefin. They didn't go for the blade armor onto the Joy, but Beloy did pick up the blade armor himself. So that's a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more of a fight that they can give towards the Beatrix. But I agree, honestly, in this kind of situation, especially because there's a King's Calling, Luke definitely would find a bit more value with that blade arm. Oh, blade armor. Close. It's very, very close. And the fact that they have two hooks to play with is massive. And there you go. That's the hook connecting. That's the King's Calling and the bloody hunt. Look at the timing of that play. 15 seconds for the Evolved Lord. And Beloy, ninth death this game.
I think they have to gamble. I really do think so because this is really not an easy comp to actually defend. You have a lot of range threat, but actually Evo is trying to get the top lane as well as the Lord. They know that they can do both. Why just do one?
Ooh, there we go. RWM once again. Luke gonna be able. Oh, pops the vengeance without jumping in onto Brands. A massive resource burn now. Purify though from a boy. Now poking them down, but another hook comes down. Bloody Hunt as well. He sells an item for the immortality. They're diving into the back line with Winter Truncheon bought as well by a boy. Buying so much time, but in the end, it's gonna be Dreams. With the Iron Hook Flicker combo. Chidera with Winter Nature. Buys a bit of time. Buys the immortality. But in the end will fall. Luke as well with the immortality. This is where it ends. The miracle run. Geek Slate. The Cinderella story, Beloy with wild charge. Now, the two Filipino imports knocked out, but Brent will be able to survive, healing and buying immortality in time.
Oh my
Johnny with the
god!
shutdown to buy some more time. 20 seconds on the death timers. No way! They have saved Geek Slate. But will they be able to prolong it once again with two more waves crashing in? Jana caught in the bloody hunt, now taken down. Taz on the base, 13 seconds on a boy. Beloy buying as much time as he possibly can with the barriers, delaying it so much for a boy.
A boy for a second.
Who can respawn. The mini waves are crashing in. Beloy are still holding it up. A boy is here. RWM.
GG.
Mini waves not there. It's like Cinderella story will be ended, and Evo's legends will prevail.
My goodness. Reverse sweep. Geek Slate flew a 2-0 lead, a clean 2-0 lead, but my goodness, we have to appreciate what they've done, man. Like fourth place in the playoff. The first time they gave a little bit of shock towards EVOS, but this time around